Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about WWE Friday Night Smackdown, and really talking about the key moments of tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. Now, tonight's edition of Friday Night Smackdown did have its interesting and key point marks, and overall just a lot of fun stuff that we can get to just here in a second. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't have to, but I would highly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first, Drew McIntyre comes out for a promo, but Cody attacks him mid-entrance, which leads to Cody cutting a pretty big promo that basically says that he's coming after Drew and he is going to be in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. What I could see from that Elimination Chamber match is a lot of stuff, and really, I don't know who's gonna face Drew McIntyre at this stage. I think it could be maybe a triple threat, maybe a fatal four-way, maybe Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. We could also see that. We could see a fatal four-way match between Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre, you can add them all in there. It's endless possibilities that you could go with for WrestleMania. There's endless possibilities that you could go with the Elimination Chamber. Of course, we did have Randy win the qualifying match tonight, and I feel like that, of course, one of the people is not going to be in the match, which is going to either be Jacob or Cody in the Elimination Chamber match, because they have to battle it out next week with Sami Zayn in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And it's going to be 3 for each brand, which is going to be 3 for SmackDown and 3 for Raw. And I'll get to the Raw side in just a second. But I do think that with the SmackDown side of things, it's very interesting, because really in a world I could see Jacob Fatu winning, in a world I could see Cody Rhodes winning, and even in a world I could see Sami Zayn winning. So there's endless possibilities at what could happen, and I'm interested to see if they're going to do chance match or whatever, because I know they used to do that to where you had a last chance, and I think if that does happen, Cody Rhodes or Jacob Fatu is going to definitely win that match, not Sami Zayn, and the opposite person who lost is going to win the last chance match. But I think in this stage, we do need to build up new stars like Trick Williams, like Carmelo Hayes, and really not seeing Carmelo Hayes in the Royal Rumble, which is really another topic for another day. That was very overall lackluster from WWE. Not having their United States champion in the Royal Rumble, that was a big fumble by the WWE. And they had Mr. Iguana from AAA and La Parka from AAA. We didn't need those people from AAA. But it's like WWE, they want to keep on pushing other people instead of the champions. They could have put Dom maybe in the Royal Rumble if he was cleared, which he might have not been cleared. And if he wasn't cleared, that's not good. That's not good. But that's also another topic. A lot of champions get injured. Maybe I'll do a video on that, because all of the injuries that has happened. It's so crazy how the WWE works. They want to push the older talent like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. And I hate to say it, we love Roman, we love Cody, we love Drew, but they're all past their prime right now. We need a major refresh. I do have another video on this, and you can check that out in the description below if you want to watch that. But we really do need a major refresh in the WWE. We need to see new stars like Trick Williams, Femi, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Dominic Mysterio. We need to see a lot of other people like that instead of the Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre. Who else are they pushing on SmackDown? But let's get to the next topic. Sorry that I kind of went off right there. But the next match is going to end up being the Women's World Tag Team Champions, Riho, the team of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, versus, they have no tag team name, which is the team of Kiana James and Julia. This was a very solid match. It really proven that Julia and Kiana James both can be stars in their own right, especially facing Rhea and Io, which is two major of the top stars on Raw and Smackdown. Really, in the whole entire WWE, if you talk like that, really, if I'm being honest, they start to push Julia and Kiana more in the tag team division because they really showed that they can hang with the main eventers like Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and really all the main event talent in the tag team division, and heck, even in the main event women's division. And just really, they can do a lot with the tag team division right now. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do next. I was really hoping that we would get a women's tag team elimination chamber. A women's tag team elimination chamber, I think that would have been very, very good. And I think that would have been better than maybe even a women's elimination chamber. But right now, we are also seeing Tiffany Stratton in that, which also leads to basically the next match, which is Tiffany Stratton versus Chelsea Green versus Lash Legend. This was a great match for what it had to offer, and probably one of the best matches that you could probably get on the women's side for the Elimination Chamber matches. So, pretty normal match. Great in-ring competitors in the ring, and also Chelsea Green's really, really over. So, without further ado, let's get to the next topic. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about overall. Then of course we have the main event match, which was the triple threat between Solo Sikoa, Aleister Black, and Randy Orton. Pretty basic match, of course, Elimination Chamber qualified match standards. So it's a pretty cool type scenario to do for the match. We have a lot of stuff on this SmackDown that was probably better than this, but it was good to see Randy getting the win and hitting the RKO. So that was pretty cool. Of course, Randy in the Elimination Chamber is also going to be cool because I don't think he's been in there in a few years, since 2024 actually. So that's gonna be pretty interesting because I think Randy should have been in it last year, but of course he was kayfabe injured. And then, the year before 2024, he was actually injured. So there's a lot of stuff going into a factor for that. Now, next, I just want to get into what I think will happen at Elimination Chamber. I do think that Cody is going to end up winning the Elimination Chamber. And somehow Randy and Jacob's going to get added to it, probably because of Nick Aldis and everything that's happened. Cody's going to feel like he's cheated out of the shot, which is really real because why did Jacob and Randy get a shot when they're probably not even going to earn it, and Nick Aldis is going to give it to him? So it's basically going to fit better for the heel Cody persona, and it's going to overall probably work out way more. So that's going to be cool. Now, next is what I think is going to happen with the women's title that Jade's holding. I do think that Bianca will end up returning before WrestleMania, and I think Triple H applied some rules. I heard it online. So I think he applied some rules to where the winner of the Elimination Chamber can pick their own person anyways. So I do think that Raquel Rodriguez is going to win the Elimination Chamber and get added to the triple threat between Stephanie Vaquer, Liv Morgan, and added Raquel Rodriguez, which was going to be a pretty fun match. I think Raquel should have beat Stephanie at the Philly Sheet fight, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I do think Bianca is going to return and somehow get opportunity to face Jade at WrestleMania. And in my opinion, I do think that Payback's going to be coming for Jade, because I do think Naomi is going to end up coming back, and of course the fans are going to be on her side, so that's going to be cool. I can't wait to see when Naomi and Bianca Belair is gonna come back. So I do think the current plans for WrestleMania is going to be in. Unfortunately, this is going to be the start of the WrestleMania predictions, but El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. More specifically, El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano, which oftenly, I think the original Grande Americano kind of looks like Omos, but that's just my opinion on it. So I think we are going to have Omos versus, and if I can tell about the other El Grande, kind of looks like Seth Rollins. So that's a big heavy bout right there. I don't know how Seth Rollins got back so quick, and I think he saved off his beard, but that's going to be a pretty big match. El Grande versus El Grande, aka Omos versus Seth Rollins. And I think it is going to be a triple threat, like I applied earlier. Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World title. And I think this is going to be all out banger. Hopefully Stephanie does retain. Really, they've done nothing with her and her title. So I hope after WrestleMania, maybe they'll start giving her the full treatment. I don't want to see her reign in this early, but I mean, it has been long enough. So you can really take the title off of Stephanie if you want to. Really, I don't want to see it on Liv at this point. So I would say put it on Raquel, and let's get to the next match. And the next match, I think that is going to happen. So let's get the next match. And the next match is Tiffany Stratton versus Julia for the Women's United States Championship. I think this is going to be a very, very fun match. They teased us in the past. So this is going to be a pretty solid match in my opinion. And the next match, of course, has already been confirmed. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. Just confirmed it tonight. So that's going to be pretty fun. WrestleMania. Can't really go into that. And, Seth versus Liv. Can't really go into that too much because that's basically already been confirmed. But we have another women's title, and that's going to be Jade versus Bianca, which I think is going to be the co-main of night one. I do think the women's triple threat is going to be the opener of night two. So I think that they're going to both get heavy spots on this card, which I think at this point the women deserve because they have been carrying basically the WWE with the two titles, especially from last year. Because if there was no women's champions last year and there was no women's titles at all, WWE would have probably saw a lot of backlash about the John Cena farewell tour and about a lot of stuff, if I'm being honest. So really, the women saved the WWE in 2025, in my opinion. But let's get into the next match, which I've already called it. I think it is going to be the main event of night one. Roman and CM Punk is going to probably be the main event of night two. I mean, it's going to be Cody versus Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. Like I already said, you can go back and watch the rest of it if you want my predictions on how this match is going to happen. But without further ado, peace.